You also talk about an interesting concept called the adult operating system, right?
Yes. Hmm.
So, can you help us understand what is an adult operating system and what does it mean in the context of the fluid world?
Mm. Yeah, I think we all have a sort of conscious, but largely unconscious operating system. And let's call that the rules that we live by, the ways that we behave that we believe garner us rewards.
Mhm.
And that operating system for most of us, or the one that I think is most familiar, was really born out of the 20th century and the kind of post World War II world where corporate life became the frame for the majority of people, in which case you made decisions, um, you sort of shaped your own sort of identity around a fairly fixed set of offers, and you operated according to an implicit set of rules, which were kind of, go to school, get a good job, find a partner, get a house, and hold on to that for as long as you can, because at the end of that, you'll be rewarded.
Mm.
And throughout it, you'll be rewarded. So, one of the things that I do with people who are working with the 10 permissions is to get them to tap into that unconscious operating system.
Mm.
What are these imprinted assumptions and rules that shape my behavior and my choices? And which ones of them are potentially outdated? Because the reality is that we are living through an unraveling of that sort of social compact, aren't we?
Mm.
Where if I am loyal, if I work hard, I will navigate my way through a single corporate hierarchy, or one within a certain profession. And the hierarchy is collapsing. The professions are now outsourcing a lot of these same functions and the middle management functions to AI. So it is going to require us to update our understanding of how we should operate in order to succeed within this society. So, yeah, a lot of this is about making a lot of our unconscious rules of behaving into a more conscious one that we are choosing, that we are routinely updating, and that we are interrogating is too strong a word, but closely observing to make sure that it actually serves us
Mm.
and that we haven't just defaulted to it because it was, the one that was sort of handed to us at birth. So,
So therefore, if somebody is not looking at this adult operating system in a way, I think in a recent July 21st newsletter you had written, you called it the whole body intelligence, right?
mhm, mhm.
So therefore, does the adult operating system have to have some kind of a whole body intelligence saying, what's my instinct? How should I trust it? Is that becoming more and more important in the context of how the world is changing?
Yeah, I think that's a perfect example. So, previously we operated on data and facts and tradition and convention. We had those at our disposal and we trusted them. We either don't have all the facts right now, we don't know if we should trust them. A good example would be right now, trying to make choices about career, for instance, in a
Mm.
world where we don't know what the jobs are going to look like in 5 years' time.
Mm.
So, what do you rely on in order to make your decisions? And obviously, what I'm pointing to is the fact that in that fixed world, where we could look outside and find something that we trusted to tell us what to do, we now either have too many people or too many sources of information, and we don't know which ones to trust. We don't know what we believe in. So the urging in the book is, and the way I frame it, is to sort of find your way rather than following a default way. And within that, yes, I believe that instinct and intuition are going to become more and more recognized as an incredibly valuable, powerful tool in finding your way. Because You won't always have all the facts. You will often be overwhelmed by potential opinions about what right or wrong is for you. And we're going to have to come into ourselves ever more and say, this is what I believe, this is what I feel. I'm going to follow that, not with the assurance that it will be successful, but that in so doing, I will learn something more that will help me to continue to sort of find my way. So, yeah, that sort of elevation of that form of intelligence is a perfect example of we have to operate differently because
Mm,
our old way of operating, we might find either deficient now or inefficient. We wait too
mm,
long. We need too much information. We're not willing to kind of act on that feeling. So, yeah, that's a great example of a way of operating that might have previously felt, you're acting on your instinct. That doesn't sound adequate. Whereas now I think a lot of us are going to have to use that more in our decision making processes.